What's up, YouTube family? We are back with another crazy one, and today we are literally going to break down every single trade which we actually did smash for the week. And so far, we actually did smash a major flip of 100 USD to over 10K, and every single thing was literally sent in right there in the free Telegram community. So far, every single aspect of how I literally approach the market has literally been sent out right here in this YouTube channel for free. So if you're looking to learn how I trade, you can literally check out every single video right here on this particular YouTube channel. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're literally looking to be part of our free Telegram community, don't forget to click on the link in this particular video description to be part of our free Telegram community. So far, we literally have every trade being sent right here into this particular community, right? And for us to actually start this flip, it was literally called us right here that we are literally looking to do this, right? So I'm literally going to break down every single setup and how I was able to do this and how you can literally be able to do this step, right? So far, these are literally the trades being taken right here, and this is it. So we first of all did start with taking a shot, right? Where we actually did take the $100 all the way to 1,000, right? And this was literally using um, my broker, which is practically Essence. I will literally leave the link to the broker right here in this particular video description, right? So we actually did get a 100 to 1K, right? We actually did attempt a 1K all the way to 5K, which actually did pan out nicely. And then we actually did see this go all the way to pan out all the way to yeah, this is it. We actually had this running all the way to 6K, right? So we actually did fall below 1K. We literally did not close at 1K, right? We actually did fall below 1K, and this was literally an $800 closed profit from the $100, right, all the way to 6K, and from 6,000 USD. We literally had all throughout adding more positions as price actually did go. And then this is it. We actually smashed a 10K landmark, right? So this is practically an easy one. A loss was taken and we did fall back all the way to 1,269 USD. And then we actually did attempt another shot, right? Now, all of these trades were literally taken on the free copy trading service, right? Which is literally made available to everyone right there. So if you're looking to be part of the free copy trading service, right? And that implies my trade gets automatically reflected on your own account. So you can literally join our free Telegram community and then you get to understand what to do next, right? So we actually did take a continuation setup here. We actually did stacking and we actually did see price moving over 100 pips, right? Hence, we actually did smash over 10K on this particular trade right here. So this was how it was done. And again, I'm literally going to break down how we were able to do this. So going to the chart straight up, this is literally so far for the community, right? So going back to the chart, we actually do have a signature setup, which we actually did use. And I've literally talked about this kind of setups over and over again. So all I literally had to do was literally wait for just one particular shot, knowing fully well that the market is always going to present you just that one particular setup that literally provides you with minimum of over 500 pips, right? And this is coming from the fact that we've literally had trades that we actually did call that actually did move well. So we actually did have this, we actually did call this buy, and we can literally see how this pans out nicely, right? So we actually did wait out for a very clean setup, which I'm literally going to break down right now. And it's literally the easiest day trading strategy which you could literally implement. So this is more like a one-shot kind of setup, right? Yeah, you only get this setup coming once a week, and all you actually have to do is to capitalize on this nicely. So starting off, we actually did move all the way to the daily time frame. And on the daily time frame, we all literally know, or everyone in the community know that we actually do prioritize the presence of engulfing candles, right? So if you take a look at structure, we actually did see a clean structure all the way to the upside, where we actually did see price move all the way to the upside, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? And higher high all the way into this particular level that propelled the sales, right? And this was literally a setup which we actually did use in taking 500 all the way to $11,000, and it's literally there in the community. And I did give a valid breakdown on how we actually did this, right? So now we actually did see the presence of a bullish engulfing candle, and we actually do have the presence of a valid demand zone, right? So this is a valid demand, and what happens in respect to supply and demand? When price comes into a demand level, we expect price to expand all the way to the upside. So hence, we actually would have our area of focus right here on this bullish engulfing candle presence right here. So this is literally our demand level, but in the same sense, we actually do see the presence of bullish engulfing candle. So we actually want to like bring our area of focus all the way to that bullish engulfing candle. Now, scaling all the way to the 4 hour time frame to actually look out for the confirmation or the reversal pattern presence. And remember, we actually did make a video on how to approach engulfing candles. And as I did say, if you're new to this YouTube channel, don't forget to like and subscribe and click on the link in this particular video description to join our free Telegram community. This is definitely on the 4 hour time frame, and on the 4 hour time frame right here, we actually did see the presence of a usual, or let's say a very simple pattern which we've always talked about, right? So we actually did see the presence of this shoulder right here, and we did see the right head, the left shoulder, and this is literally the head, and we expect price to give us another reversal to the upside when it comes back to the same level. And for the advanced traders, we actually understand this is literally the presence of a QMO. So we do see the presence of this left shoulder. Price gives us this side, right? And we actually do see the presence of a structural change, right? And then price comes back all the way. So we actually expect to see price reverse all the way to the upside, taking out this high at least, right? Now we are literally more of reactive traders other than trying to like predict, right? So we actually do map out our levels and we wait for price to come into these levels, right? So firstly, when we actually did have the initial deposit of 100 USD, it was literally on Monday, right? And the goal was to actually create a buffer on this particular account so that we can literally be able to at least make the easy flip of it, right? So the goal was actually 100 to 1000 USD initially. So we literally did have the zone mapped out, which I'm literally going to break down. This is literally on the 4 hour time frame. We actually did see the presence of a shoulder, head, and then we anticipated a right shoulder, right? So going to the lower time frame, after we actually did map out this level, I literally did use the easiest approach, which is literally the presence of a demand of the 15-minute time frame, right? So we actually did see the presence of this demand candle, right? And yeah, this is literally our area of focus right now. So this is where we actually want to see major buys for the week, irrespective of how crazy the week might be. So we actually want to see major buys for the week. So now we actually did expect to see a scalp setup, right? So if you actually do approach the market in respect to a day trading or scalping perspective, right? Which I also did make a video on this, right? We can literally see loads of videos on how you can literally go about this. So literally, we actually did say this is Friday all the way to Monday, right? And on Monday, we actually did say the presence of what? We actually did see the presence of this level. This is practically what we call a blind spot setup, right? So we actually did see the presence of a blind spot presence right here. Okay, we actually did see the presence of a blind spot present, and we actually did see price run into this. Okay, and now remember, we actually did take a scalp buy all the way to the upside, be it this particular one. And how did this come about to be? So we actually did say that price was literally giving a corrective move, and we only needed to like play a scalp. And then looking at price, this was literally what came into play. Now, this was the level present. Okay, we literally needed to see price run into the refined level. We literally needed to see price run into the refined level. Hence, this was literally a quick 15 minutes level, right? So I did actually just scale down all the way to the lower time frame, and then we did play a reactive scalp of this, right? We literally played a reactive scalp of this all the way to the upside. So this was literally the level entries was literally taken right here as seen right here in the community. Okay, so it's literally all an easy peasy with precision. With precision, you can literally make this happen, and all you actually have to do is to back test and bring this into play in order to see how easy it is, right? So this was literally what we had right here. All right, so this was literally the buy, which we actually did take right here of this particular setup, right? And then price expanded all the way to the upside, straight up into this particular supply. we actually did take buys all the way from this point to this, right? And I literally had to be patient to wait for price to present the full A setup, right? Knowing we actually have taken the 100 USD all the way to 800. So it was literally a matter of patience, right? Now, actually waiting for price to come all the way or drop down into this area of interest, right? My point of interest, all I had to do was wait. So price did actually did expand all the way on Monday into Tuesday, right? So with price dropping into these particular levels, there are literally two ways you can actually approach this particular setup. You can actually play the aggressive approach, which is more like waiting for the 15 minutes continuation, easy, and playing this all the way straight up, right? Or we can literally decide to like wait for the 4 hour time frame to present a continuation setup, and then we decide to like play this all the way to the upside. Price actually dropped right there on Tuesday, and all we needed to like do was to all we literally needed to like do was to like play a continuation, right? So in this particular case, price actually dropped down, give a push through, and this is one reason why you should always wait for a continuation setup. Because if we literally did scaling at this particular point, trust me, this would have been a very crazy disaster, right? So we actually did wait for price to present a continuation setup, and in the 15 minutes time frame, we actually did see this. Price actually did make a higher high, a high, a low, a higher high, right? And then we actually did retrace back straight up into this same level, which is practically a blind spot. Now, in this particular case, this blind spot actually did serve as an area of interest to propel price to the upside. And in this particular case, the structure is pretty much still bearish, right? Hence, we are literally going to be very cautious to not full pot at this particular point. Now, remember, we are literally having $100 initial deposits, hence we literally have no ties attached to this. Price actually did run into this blind spot, and if we did refine further, so I'm literally mapping this out right now. So price actually did run into this blind spot, and if we did refine further, right, we did actually skip all the way to the 5 minutes time frame, and on the 5 minutes time frame, we actually did spot the presence of a clean demand. Okay, so this is the last bullish candle present before a clean expansion all the way to the upside, and the price gave a retracement back into this. Hence, we actually did take our entry as seen right here in the community. We actually did take our entry right there in the community, and then price actually started expanding to the upside, right? So we can literally see initial entry right here, continuation entry taken at this particular point, right? And yeah, price started expanding all the way to the upside. So it's literally more advisable to wait for the continuation, right? Now, price actually did rally. Our initial TP was over 500 pips, right? Price actually did end up going for price actually did end up going for just 200 pips plus, right? Before it gave a full reversal all the way to the downside. And remember, we were literally still holding, adding up more positions. We actually did add up a position right here before price actually expanded all the way, giving us 10,000 USD before it actually did expand to the downside. And we actually did end up closing this on break-even, right? And to be very honest, this was literally a very crazy one, but sometimes, right, setups tends to like fail, like we would not always get the A setup coming, right? And with that being said, we actually did wait for the second shot, which was more like a scalping. I just literally had to like scalp my way through, right? Now with this scalping methodology, it was literally a high risk, but at the same time, it was literally worth it. Now with price going all the way to the downside, we did see that this actually pushed up straight up into this particular level, and then we dropped all the way to the downside, and it was more like a corrective movement, right? But as price dropped to the downside, we actually did see a push all the way to the upside, and then price actually dropped down. We saw a clean QML, right? Which is more like suggesting that price is definitely going to reverse. Okay, so if you take a look at this, we actually did see a QMO, which is more like a short change of structure in respect to price, and then price actually did drop down. So we expected price to give a quick retracement, right? So this is more like a shoulder and head and right shoulder structural change coming in right here, and we actually did see price coming into the supply zone right here. Okay, so we actually did take a quick scalp from this we actually did take a quick scalp from this particular supply level all the way to this point, right? So this was literally a 40 pips stock, and then this was literally over 170 pips in respect to the profit target, right? And then price literally expanded, and we actually did close right here as seen in this particular community, right? Entry tucked in right there, and we actually did hold all the way to the downside, right? So it's literally all an easy peasy. Again, we actually did decide to use the one shot, one kill setup, which is pretty much a setup that literally guarantees over 500 pips, and it's more like in which the patience has to be there. It's literally something we've actually like played over and over again, right? Last week we actually did smash this particular shot. 2 weeks ago we actually did smash this crazy shot, and it kept happening over and over again. So it can literally be crazy sometimes that we might not actually get setups like this happening every single time. But the reason I'm trusting this setup is the fact that it guarantees over a 90% win rate, right? Aside the day trading scalp setups, right? But this is how we were able to like take over 100 USD to just 10K, proving to you that capital is never the problem. So we're literally going to be going on next week to like embark on more crazy flips. See you guys again. If you're new to this particular YouTube channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. And then don't forget to click on the link in this particular video description to join our free Telegram community. See you guys on the next slide, guys.